Okay, so before I get into mesh analysis, I wanted to quickly go over linear algebra. And you've probably done this before, but people often have difficulty connecting the way the problem is stated and the way you apply the maths to solve it. Right? So I'm going to try and go through it. So the sorts of problems we're going to end up with are problems like this, where we have Ohm's law equations, right? V equals IR. Here we've got a vector of voltages. Here we have a vector of unknown currents. And here we have a matrix relating the two of resistances. And you'll notice there's some negatives there, and you should understand that the reason there are negatives there is because some of the currents that we use are not satisfying the passive sign convention. Right? So they end up, instead of Ohm's law being V equals IR, Ohm's law ends up being V equals minus IR. But that's an explanation. It turns out it's a little bit more natural when we actually apply mesh analysis or nodal analysis as to what. Find I1 and I2. We want to find the unknowns. So, and we get an answer. Right? But that's not the only way. You can do some algebra, right? It's called linear algebra after all, but you can split this equation up, or this matrix equation up into two scalar equations, right? 30 times I1 minus 24 times I2 equals 21, and 24 times I1 minus 48 times I2 equals 0. And then there's a way to approach it by using what's called the method of elimination. And all we're seeing that there's a factor of 2 relationship between these two coefficients, which is nice. And then subtract equation. We end up with minus 48 I2 equals 42. Subtracting 24 from 60 gives us 36. Those two cancel. That's what we're aiming to do. That's why it's called the method of elimination. So we end up with 36 I1 equals 42. So we can just say that. And then we can just substitute that value of I that I2 is. Everybody okay with that? No?
I don't really know what's going on at all.
Okay, well, where to start? So have you done any matrices before?
Probably, but it was multiple years ago.
Okay, so let's see if we can do this. So this is a matrix equation, right? Mm-hmm. And the way I learnt how to figure out what's happening here is, and this is going to sound silly, but this is the way I learned it. You run along the diving board, and then you jump off. Right? So that is you take the 30